Good morning. We've talked about Bitcoin derivatives and some of the more advanced ways to trade there, but we're now seeing the same phenomenon with Ethereum, sometimes called Ether. There's now more sophisticated trading tools and strong demand for those products. Ether futures volume has been pretty steady throughout the past year or so, even in the face of lower prices. CME open interest is still near an all-time high. The CME also launched micro futures late last year that lets investors trade in smaller increments. All global exchanges across the board have seen higher demand as well for ETH futures. You're seeing the CME futures there. Now, this chart here, global volume total, that hit a high back in May. But Sean Farrell of Fundstrat says demand is still high, and that sustained activity in the past year is a sign of demand, as well as products like micro futures. He calls that a strong sign of more sophistication in these markets and more institutional investors jumping in as well. The most popular forms of crypto derivatives, something called perpetual futures. There's no expiration on these contracts, also no rollover cost. And with more leverage, guys, it might mean volatility, so something to watch out for as well. Finally, Ethereum whales. These are sometimes seen as the smart money in crypto. And people holding more than 1,000 Ethereum, that is technically a whale, someone who's got a larger holding. There are fewer whales right now in the market. That line has gone down. You see that orange line on the right there. It has been falling, but analysts tell me they might not be leaving the markets entirely. They're often using these coins in other places, so spending on things like NFTs, decentralized finance apps, or other smart contracts. You can see that is actually going up. Analysts tell me that's really where the money is going, into things like NFTs at this point. Back to you.
It's almost a diversification strategy within the broader asset class.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so it's interesting. Ethereum, the contrast from Bitcoin is that in a lot of cases, it's more useful. You can use it on things like NFTs. A lot of the whole Web3 ecosystem is actually being built on top of this. So Bitcoin, you can think of it as sort of the gold. People have described Ethereum as actually oil, that it's more useful. You might actually use it to drive a car. You could use it to build things like NFTs. So it's interesting, the dynamics in terms of what Ethereum whales would be doing versus what you might do with something like Bitcoin are entirely different, although some of the futures products are starting to look a lot more similar.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.